Hi team. So in this video we're going to be covering the repricing settings in the UI to make sure that you know how to use all the different things that we have, as well as making sure that you have control and really make the most out of the new settings area, which we just recently released new changes to make it even more powerful, more flexible, and a little bit more transparent than what it was before, more information. And these new features will bring visibility for tools that were already in our model, but they were not customizable from the UI before. So let's start from the beginning, right? So here's the repricing settings. We have obviously the groups that we're repricing over here, and the first thing that we're going to cover are the goals. So remember that the model has sort of like three different strategies. We have increased profit, increased revenue, and target a specific velocity. So for the first two, each day the model will select a price based on the predicted demand for the next day, and the price elasticity, which is the relationship between the price changes and the changes in your sales velocity. And this selected price will basically maximize the specific goal that you have, either if it's profit or revenue. And this process will repeat daily. So we're basically pushing the most optimal price to generate profit or revenue on a daily basis. Then we have target velocity. In this one, the model will set a price, typically gets updated every 3 days, to achieve an average sales velocity that you set during that period. For this model, it disregards other factors such as revenue, profitability, DSR. It just focuses solely on achieving that target sales velocity. So for example, if you tell it to sell 20 units, it will basically try and sell 20 units. It's great for inventory management. So for example, if you have 20 units in your inventory and your next shipment arrives in 20 days, you can set a specific target sales that you sell on average to ensure that your inventory lasts until the new shipment is delivered to the Amazon warehouse. Okay? So then we have profiles, right? So the profiles are basically defining the boundaries of the maximum daily fluctuations and also the min and max price bounds that we have over here, right? So we have different sort of like presets that you can use. So we have the neutral profile, which ranges from the original price plus and minus 17.5% with a maximum daily fluctuation of 5%, right? Then we have the aggressive profile, which ranges from plus minus 25% from the original price, and then the maximum daily fluctuations are 7.5%. So that's the key difference there, where it's a little bit more aggressive. Then we have the bestseller batch, the bestseller and subscribe and save, which are very, very similar. The price ranges from the original price, we go plus 5%, minus 17.5% for both of these modes. And the maximum daily fluctuation is 5%, and these profiles really aim to avoid, for example, for the bestseller, any significant price increases that would otherwise lower sales and maybe risking losing your bestseller. And similarly, to retain subscribers, when you increase prices too much, people might start noticing that the price is not really making sense anymore. So we limited that to prevent making the subscription less attractive. And then also we have custom, which basically allows you to set any min and max bound that you like. And if you want to also change the daily fluctuation, by default it's set to 5%, you can let us know and we can change that for you in the customer success team. Then we have the profit guard or profit security section. This basically always ensures that you set a positive margin for your prices, or prices are always on a positive margin. So when we talk about net profit, the price is at least 2.5% above your net costs, which is landed costs, FBA, FBM fees, referral fees plus ad spend. And then gross profit is the same; it's 2.5% above your gross costs. So landed costs, FBA, FBM fees, and referral fees, no ad spend. So that's the profit guard. These are the min and max bounds. Obviously, you can manipulate these, and it will automatically change the relation that the min and max price have with the original price. Then we have the freeze button, right? So here, when you press this, it will turn blue, and it will basically allow you to, as I was saying, it will basically allow you to pause the ASIN, right? So, for example, When it turns blue, it's already frozen, and it will be freeze at whatever the price it is currently on Amazon. And this is great to allow you to, for example, run any deals. If you need to run a lightning deal for a couple of days, something like that, to make sure that the repricer doesn't interfere with your deal. Once you are ready, you can press it again, and it will turn black. It will turn back on. So it will go green. It will go blue like this when it's paused, and when you press it again, it will turn black again, indicating that it's working, and you'll see like a little check mark here. Then we have a buy box protection feature. This, in the model will include mechanisms to help you retain the buy box, right? So there's really two reasons why you would lose the buy box in relation to price. One of them is high prices, which is when Amazon deems a price too high, so the buy box might get suppressed. So if that happens, what the model will do, it will automatically revert back to a lower price to try and help you regain the buy box. Then we have channel conflict. So that's the other option here, which basically whenever you're selling on Walmart, Shopify, or any e-commerce store, Amazon requires the product that you're selling to match or either be lower than the price on the other platforms. So if that happens, if you have a lower price on Walmart, for example, you would lose the buy box. So what the model will do, it will set a competitive price, it will lower prices to try and basically win back the buy box to prevent that from happening. If you lose the buy box and we already went to the mean price and we can't regain it, we'll be reaching out to let you know that we might need to increase prices on whatever other platform you're selling your product. So that's about it for this part, right? Then we also have this new button. This is a new addition to the UI where you press it and you basically freeze all the ASINs at once. This is also great, for example, when you are coming into Prime Day or a specific deal week or Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where you can pause all the ASINs, run all of your deals, and then resume repricing once you're done. Now, something else that we have now here included is in the details and metrics, or the ASIN settings as we call it. So here, previously, you obviously get to see all the details about your specific ASINs, the metrics, 30, 90 days, and we also included a graph where you can see up to a year's worth of data of your different metrics that we offer here. So revenue, total costs, units sold, gross profit, contribution profit, and you can change the date ranges over here. Then we have the settings tab, right? So I'd like to go back here. When you change the model to target velocity, so you press target velocity and then you will come over here. Let me just give you an example. So you would press target velocity, you would come over here, and this is where you tell the model how many units are you going to sell. We want to sell, so you can put, for example, 20 units. This is how frequent the price adjustment is going to be, right? So by default, we have it to 3 days, but it can be 7 days as well. So basically, the model will adjust prices and move around every 3 days. The look back period is the number of days that it will consider to take a look at the past sales trends to get the new price. And then this is basically the fluctuation that it's going to have. It can be 5%, so that's how big the price movement is going to be. Then we have the inventory intelligence models. So we have the overstock model, which is whenever you have inventory that's older than any particular dates here, you know that Amazon will start increasing the fees. So basically what the model will do, it will try and lower prices to try and help you move those units quicker. We also have the low stock model. So this one is great to prevent you from running out of stock. So whenever the model notices that you're low on stock, it will basically raise prices to try and buy you more time to replenish that stock. So for example, if you have 200 units left of a particular unit, or ASIN, sorry, let's say you sell 30 on average per day, so 7 times 30, that's 210. The model will be like, oh, we're running out of stock, so we'll increase prices to near the max bound to try and regain, gain more time to get you more time, basically. Then we have the inventory, inbound inventory model. So this one takes into account any inbound FBA stock that's en route to your fulfillment center. So whenever you're out of stock, but you have some inbound inventory coming in, you know that you can keep selling your ASINs. They're just gonna have longer delivery times. So what the model will do, it will try and lower prices to try and incentivize unit sales. Then we have surge pricing, right? So whenever this is enabled at a particular time of the day, right? Timing is everything, right? So if you basically allows you to set price increases based on specific times of the day, which, you know, for example, for a customer that sells umbrellas, whenever it's raining or there's rainy season, people don't really tend to care that much about how much an umbrella costs. So you can basically increase prices relative to the percentage here to try and capitalize on that extra demand. And this feature will give you flexibility on optimizing pricing on peak buying times, for example. Then we have B2B pricing, right? So if you want to cater a little bit more towards your business buyers, we got you covered here. Basically, you can choose between a percentage or a fixed amount, and basically we'll set a price based on that. So for example, if you want 10% off, you set the B2B percentage discounts to be 10%. So we'll move that around, and you can also do a fixed discount, as I mentioned. So it's very easy to incentivize sales for your for the B2B pricing. Basically, has never been easier. Then we have the custom price zones or price no-go zones. So as you know, for example, you can avoid by default when you enable this, the model already knows that when you go from $9.99 to $11.40 something, you are not profitable due to the Amazon fees structure. So the model already knows that, and it will make sure to skip past those prices to make sure that you're profitable. But you can also add your own. So when you press here, you can basically enter whatever prices you don't want the model to explore, and it will do that. You can also have allowed prices, so you can actually tell it specific prices that you want it to move from, so you can put those over here too. And you can also offer quantity discounts, so bulk discounts, specifying the number of units that people are gonna buy, and then they get a specific discounted amount. Then lastly, we have the BSR, the BSR recovery model. So this should always be enabled, really, which is we automatically adjust pricing to recover your BSR if it drops below a particular threshold that the model has, and it will basically make sure that your BSR never gets affected. We'll also have a competition tab coming soon. This is going to be pretty cool. You will be able to see there's going to be certain features there, for example, competitor selection, which will automatically pull in competitors and swap them out as you need. There's also going to be a performance tracking tab where you can compare your prices and BSR against your competitors over time. And you can also set min and max prices relative to your competitors to ensure that your pricing is always competitive. So this will come in the next few weeks. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can let us know by then. So that covers most of what I wanted to discuss here on this particular new changes that are coming in the UI and also the previous settings that we had. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to your customer success team. And yeah, thank you for listening.